Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. The game is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions. How about those Chiefs?
Hey, welcome to the Kingdom of Korner here with Dale and Andrew. Here we are here to recap the game yesterday against the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a heartbreaker, but Dale, any initial thoughts on this game?
Heartbreaker, I think is the one that got away. Just didn't seem like the Chiefs were very sharp. It did feel like after the first possession they were sharp, and then once that fumble happened, then they kind of lost focus again. It felt like, but credit the Bengals, the better team, the better quarterback yesterday, the better running back yesterday, the better defense yesterday. This is the better team all around.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
well, one of the things that we've talked about before became a lot of the problems that the Chiefs faced. I mean, first off, the Chiefs defense, other than they forced one punt and they held on fourth down within their own 5-yard line because of Mr. Carlos Dunlap. But
that was huge. That was huge. That was a huge play.
Huge.
I thought that was going to be big, and it did carry momentum, but unfortunately didn't carry us all the way to the end of the game.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, those are some really big plays. Trent McDuffie, I mean, I think he's the real deal.
The real deal.
He is the real deal.
Credit Brett Veach for finding that guy and his staff.
Yeah, no doubt. So, but there are a couple of things we got to point out. Now, first off, there's a lot of haters going on right now saying don't even give Chris Jones another deal, that he's, not good in, situational games or big games or playoff games. And I want to, first off, say y'all are wrong.
Yes.
So, you do pay a man like that because a man like that doesn't come around very often.
Right.
So, you got to pay a few guys on your defensive side. And right now, he's the only one that's able to consistently get pressure. However, that's the other thing the Chiefs defense struggled with yesterday, which we've discussed before on here is, man, we have gone through droughts even this season of not being able to get pressure on the quarterback.
One of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL, Joe Burrow, we sacked one time.
Yeah. And he almost gave himself up on that play there on that last drive. So
and credit to Joe. I mean, again, I want to tip my hat to him. I thought he played really well. When there was pressure, he dodged it and he used his legs, which I thought was pretty impressive because I hadn't seen him run a bunch like that, but he used his legs quite a bit yesterday.
Yeah, and was very effective when he did so. The Chiefs had almost no answer for his run game or the short outlet passes to the running back. The Chiefs didn't seem to be able to stop that at all. So, and the other side, though, is the Chiefs' run defense. It was not good.
What happened to Steph Nation? It was 99.
I didn't see much of Steph Nation yesterday, so I don't know if they were on vacation or what. But either way, it wasn't much going on in that department. But I will say the Chiefs' run defense, even though they're rated or ranked as one of the higher rush defenses in the league, they've been very inconsistent for the year.
Oh, yeah.
Because the reason they're ranked so high in rush defense is because teams usually have to abandon the run because they're losing to the Chiefs because the Chiefs put up so many points.
Or they feel the pressure, right? They feel the pressure to pass.
Yep. And so I think that kind of skews the numbers a little bit for the Chiefs rush defense. They do have good plays and good games in that department every few games, but man, they were just kind of exposed in yesterday's game versus a team that did not abandon their run to try to go throw for throw with Mahomes.
Yeah. So our defense definitely, our corners were a bright spot. I thought they did fairly well. It was just the soft coverage really got us and I thought Burrow did a great job of getting rid of it quick so the pressure couldn't get to him. Yeah. And they were just dinking and dumping. And I know Tony Romo kept saying, well, Spags doesn't let you do that. Well, he let them do it. Yeah. And our pressure wasn't getting there quick enough. It was coming from the safeties or the slot, and it wasn't fast enough to get there and to disrupt. And some of that roughing the passer call, that was garbage. I think everyone can agree to that. Yeah. The ball was still in his hand when he made contact. I know he landed on him, but gee whiz, it's football. I mean, what is a 300-pound guy supposed to do?
Yeah. Honestly, I think at this point, and I mean, I'm kidding, but not kidding at the same time. I think we should put flags on quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Now, it'd be easier to, make him be down wherever you pull a flag at. Yes, I give you that. But with how the NFL wants to protect quarterbacks and how you're basically not allowed to tackle them anymore, what are you supposed to do?
Right.
You can't tackle them.
And we don't want to hurt. We don't want Joe Burrow hurt. We want all the good athletes to stay upright and playing. But my goodness, you gotta let the guys play.
Yeah.
And then I thought, how many times are we going to let Jamar Chase PI, pass interference, and then that pick play where, and luckily the guy dropped it in the end zone, but that was clearly a pick play, and they just let it go.
Yeah.
Then one more thing, I don't think that long pass, which I know we got it again, but where they said men were downfield.
Yep.
There's no way.
No.
Mahomes had backed up 15 yards, and they were all back there.
Yeah.
And then he ran up, and they were still all back there.
Yeah.
No one was downfield.
Well, even on the replay, at most, I think there are 4 yards, and I think they give you about 5. So
I mean, anyway, it wasn't the ref's fault. The refs didn't lose us this game.
They did not.
They did not. We lost this game for sure. Our defense, and then
early on there were some calls that I was for sure starting to think, are we going to have to play the refs? But other than 1 or 2 calls, I mean, the refs did not
clean
lose
game.
us. Yeah, the refs called
clean
it
game.
fair and clean the rest of the way. So, hat off to the refs for once. So
for once, what else did you? Did anything like? I thought our linebackers played poor. Linebacker. I mean, I know Nick Bolton and I know Andy Reid's press conference. He says we did not tackle, and that was exactly right. I felt like they were missing so many tackles, and let him get to the second level, almost to the third level. Piron didn't have like a big run on us, but he just kept he
kept gashing you for time after time after time. Yeah, that's not a stat you really want to have at all. So, Piron was averaging 5 yards a carry, so that's not good.
Yeah. Now, anything else on the defense, or you want to talk offense?
Yeah. Well, I'm about to jump offense, but I will just reiterate what you said. Tackling is an important form, an important part of any football team, and if you can't tackle, you're not going to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you're playing. You're not going to win a lot of games if you're not able to tackle. But the other question, like, I don't want to be the person who's saying, oh, burn the ships down, the season's over because of one loss.
Oh, no.
I don't think that's it at all. But it begs the question, because it seems like whenever the Chiefs defense goes against an above average quarterback, we start having these glaring, obvious things that we see as weaknesses in the Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
And most of it has to do with pass rushing.
Yeah.
And so my question is this: is this just a personnel issue, or where we don't have the right players, or is it a coaching issue?
I think, I thought a lot about this last night. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you were going to ask me this question. I thought a lot about this. I think our coaching is becoming pitiful. And I love Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And I love Spags. But I think our coaching does not seem like they're making adjustments. Now, I watch a lot of NFL. I love the NFL. I watch a lot of other NFL games. Yeah. And I watch Josh Allen, and I watch Tua, and I watch Burrow, and just some of the greats. And it seems to me, and this is the offense side, it seems to me like those offenses seem to get easier plays than what Mahomes gets. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
It seems like their play design is, and I don't think they have the same personnel that like maybe the Dolphins. The Dolphins have great personnel.
Yeah.
I feel like we are just as good, if not better, than all those other teams. And it does not feel like we're getting those easy passes for big yards.
No, it doesn't feel like that at all.
It feels like there's more guys on defense when Mahomes is on the field for whatever reason. I don't know what they're doing, but whatever they're doing, we need to start doing to the opposing team. And so I think it's both. I think it's coaching and personnel. I don't think we have. I mean, Chris Jones heck of a player. Frank Clark, inconsistent. The rookie, inconsistent, which is George Karafis, inconsistent, which is to be expected. He's a rookie, and so we can't expect him to be playing as a veteran mode. Dunlap, he doesn't play every down, nor should he. He's a veteran.
Here's the thing. He's 33 years old. Dunlap is a veteran, and he's our top edge rusher.
Yeah.
And he plays like, what, 25% of the downs or something like that?
Exactly. And so he's
our
made
top
big
edge
plays.
rusher.
And then another thing I thought last night is our safeties are not good.
No, they're not. No,
because again, I say this, they're consistent, right? They're consistently bad. Because, and this is where I think we're missing that leader, the Honey Badger, big time, huge. Because he would put his thumbprint on a game. It seemed like at least one play. We're like, man, that's going to be huge. Yeah, every game. That was huge. Like whether it's a tip pass, whether it's an interception, whether it's getting guys in the right spot. I love Reed. I think he's great. I think he's a serviceable player, but he's no Honey Badger. And so I thought about that last night. Like, man, we are missing the Honey Badger. What's he doing in New Orleans? Come on up.
Yeah.
You know, we'll make
how long is that contract for down there? Right?
Yeah. So I think we're missing. I think we have a playmaker on defensive line, and we have great linebackers. They didn't play great yesterday, but I think in that secondary, we're missing a playmaker.
Yep.
This to flip the script or flip the field. You know, I mean, maybe McDuffie is going to be that. I thought he played really well, like you said earlier, but I just think we're missing that. So those are my thoughts, and you probably weren't expecting all of that, but that's what I was thinking about last night. As you know, these losses, you know, they hurt a little more for a Chiefs fan because you're just expected to win, and we've been spoiled. And I think a whole nother point with that is that, yeah, we have Mahomes, but man, we need a whole team.
Yeah, exactly. So, and
I
agree. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. But I'll just say we've had a problem on the defensive line having an edge rusher for a number of years.
Yeah,
and they've tried to address it through the draft. And I'm not saying George won't become a great one. He might.
No, he might.
But at this point, we don't have a great edge rusher. And so teams are able to just double team Chris Jones every play because they just say, beat us.
Yeah.
And they can't.
Right.
So flipping over to the other side of the ball, the offensive side, the biggest eyesore on that was the offensive line. And namely the tackles on both sides. They were getting beat at inopportune times and giving up consistent pressure against only 3 or 4 rushers every.
Yeah. Orlando Brown is not helping his case to get paid.
He is not at all.
So, I mean, look, it looked crazy in the offseason. I know you and I were both on the same page that we shouldn't pay him. I didn't think he was very good. But even more so, but I don't know who's going to pay you because you were just getting whipped. And then Wiley, I know he was getting whipped too. But I thought we were missing Tooney big time. I thought we felt his presence. Last week, he didn't feel it so much, but this week I think we felt it quite a bit. So, yeah, our offensive line was the eyesore there.
Yeah, no doubt at all. And so the Chiefs offense, they missed some key opportunities, which could have made huge differences, like the Kelsey fumble. But I'm not blaming Kelsey.
Oh, no, you can't.
Or even Butker for that missed kick. I mean, both those guys have come up so clutch for us in many, many games. So I'm not blaming.
I thought personally 55 yards was a little too far, especially in an outdoor state. If it was indoors, all day. Come on. If it was Arrowhead, all day. But, you know, they don't go to Cincinnati very often. They're not, you know, in that spot. And so I know it's windy there and things like that. So I thought give it. But I know Mahomes came up hobbling. And so I know that's probably part of the decision why they said, hey, let's kick the field goal.
Yeah, you know, I'm taking a hobbling Mahomes over that kind of field goal, though. So
you and I both.
Yeah. So in that situation, if I'm the coach, and you know, I don't want to question Coach Reed too much because I still think he's a great coach and one of the best ones in the game. So happy to have him. But man, just because of how the game was going, and even if you make that field goal, I'm not confident the Chiefs defense is going to stop the other team. First even go to overtime.
Yeah, all they would have to do is get in field goal range, and they had no problems moving the ball. No problems.
Yeah. So that's why I would have gone for it on 4th down, because the defense just hadn't been able to stop them the entire game. In the first half, they forced a punt and stopped them on fourth down. And other than that, they never stopped them at all.
Right. And then,
so I'm going for it.
I know you touched on Kelsey, but Kelsey, keep your head up, bud. I know you're not going to listen to this, but keep your head up because we want those yards. They held you up clearly, but it happens. It happens, and we know I know he's the player he is. He's probably my favorite Chief, and so he'll come back. I mean, you saw once he got the ball, he was running angry and holding on that ball with two hands and not going to let them strip him again. Yeah. So I think Chiefs fans that are criticizing him, I don't know if they're Chiefs fans because we'll take those. We take those. When he does it all the time, we don't complain. Why are we complaining?
We celebrate it.
Yeah, we celebrate. So we're going to keep. He's going to be fine. Mahomes is going to be fine. Hopefully, this is the spark. I think that will give our team a boost and be like, hey, let's take care of business. Let's go 5-0 here. And let's get that 1 seed and let's make a run. And I hope we do face the Bengals in the AFC Championship in Arrowhead again. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I hope we do. And or the Bills. Who cares? Bring them on. So playoff football is totally different, but that does ruin a big streak for the Mahomes and Andy Reid era where they were like 26-0 or whatever. Yeah. And now
26 games straight in November and December, which I believe is still the NFL record. So that's pretty good. I'll take it. They were bound to drop one eventually in those months, but man, I just wish it would have been this year. So, but that's all right. So here's the next big question for us then. Are the Bengals, outside of our division opponents, are the Bengals the biggest rival for the Chiefs now?
Oh, yeah, hands down. We haven't beaten them. And I guess the question would be, can they be considered rivals if we don't beat them?
Well, it's a fair question, but every game that we played has been a 3-point game. One of those games were overtime. So I would say that warrants a rivalry.
Yeah.
When you're that close. So, I'd agree with you. The Bengals are now the Chiefs' biggest rival. It's not going to be the Josh Allen Mahomes rival. I mean, I think as much as possible over the next several years, you're going to see Mahomes playing Burrow as much as he's going to be playing Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah.
The NFL is going to set that up.
The NFL is licking their chops. Yeah. So for whatever reason, I don't know why, but it feels like the media just wants to tear down Mahomes. I don't know why.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just every time he loses, they do.
Yeah, I don't know why they're so quick. He's a likable guy. I don't know, maybe because he wins. I don't know what it is. Because I just feel like they want to tear him down, which is like I don't feel like they do that to other quarterbacks. I think they criticize other ones, but it seems like Mahomes and maybe it's just the State Farm guys. Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers just gets criticized every move they make, and so it's tough.
Yeah, so. Here's the next big question. If the Chiefs are in the playoffs, they're going to be at least
when they're in the playoffs,
When they're in the playoffs, if they have to face the Bengals, how would you feel about that game?
Nervous.
I mean, I know there's still, a month of football left before we even get to playoffs, but sitting where we are now, if the game was tomorrow, and we're facing the Bengals in the playoffs, do you think the Chiefs would win?
Man,
good question. I
think we lost the feed there. I'm gonna trust the Chiefs to make the adjustments. But man, that Bengals coaching staff seems pretty good to me. I don't follow the Bengals all that close, but they did a great job against us, and they figured it out. But they figured something out. But I think Mahomes figured something out too. Where they were moving the ball with ease on that defense. So that defense doesn't scare me, but that Joe Burrow, he scares me.
Yeah.
What I was probably most impressed with, and this sounds like a Bengals podcast right now, but what I was most impressed with Joe was how he just controlled the ball.
Yeah.
Like he would go and it wasn't all just running. Usually like the Titans, you're like, they have ball control, like they control the ball like a ton. But it just seemed like he would go on 6-minute drives passing. And that is impressive. Very impressive. And so
I guess in the first half, especially, both teams were having long drives. And so it wasn't as high scoring as people thought. And I think part of that is because, each team was having long drives over and over again. So,
but I say that to I think at the end of the half, they both had the ball for 15 minutes. So I saw that stat pop up on the TV. So I was impressed with that. But yeah, impressed with his at the end of the fourth quarter there, where he got a 3rd and 11 on us. And, our defense has got to get off the field. 3rd down, 3rd and long. You got to get off the field. I know we're used to that. Mahomes getting, those long conversions, but my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. So if the Chiefs were playing them, I'd be a little bit nervous for sure.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be, rolling with the Chiefs.
Oh,
either way.
Yeah.
My big question now is, because Mahomes and company have yet to beat Joe Burrow, and he's the only team and quarterback that has never lost against Mahomes.
Right.
So does that now start become even a mind game of, man, can we beat these guys? And I don't think Mahomes is going to have that kind of mindset. I think he's going to come in laser focused, but just some of the other guys, maybe even some of the rookies, especially on our defensive side, having so many rookies, are we now going to be also facing the mindset of, man, can we even beat these guys after they've beat us like they have? So,
yeah. Well, and I do think there are some glimmers of light or glimmers of hope in the film, right? I thought they did a good job on Jamar Chase. I thought they did a good job on some of those players. But yeah, I think we just go back hey, this is how you tackle.
Yeah.
So but
now Jamar Chase had almost 100 yards receiving, but compared to the last times we played him, where he's had, I think, 150 yards or more each game, plus a couple touchdowns at least in each game. 97 yards and no touchdowns. I'll take that against a Jamar Chase.
It was a quiet 100.
It was.
Right?
It was a quiet 100.
It's like Kevin Durant. You look at the box score and he has 35. And you're like, I can't remember a single shot he made.
Yeah.
But he had 35 points. And so I think it was I can't remember a single catch where Jamar Chase had, but I can remember, 100 yards. Okay. Well, that's what he's going to do.
Well, I do remember a one-handed catch that didn't count, because that catch was pretty incredible.
That catch was, but credit our D-backs, man.
McDuffie pushed him out.
Pushed him out. That's exactly what.
McDuffie's he's going to be a good player if he keeps.
Yes, he is.
So I want to come back to a question we asked in the last episode previewing the Bengals game, though, because I think it warrants another discussion. Is, should the Chiefs or any team call out players on another team before a game starts? I feel like that gave the Bengals a little bit more fuel versus a team that we don't want to give any more fuel to.
Yeah. Gave him a little juice.
Yeah.
Gave him a little juice.
I mean, and Justin Reed, man, I'm not, as we've said on this podcast before, we're not trying to hate on any player because they are great players. They made the NFL. Hats off to you. But man, if you're going to start calling people out, you got to do something. You got to do something a little bit more. And, Justin Reed, he's the one who called out some of those Bengals players and even, didn't even know their names as he was calling them out and kind of butchering their names a little bit. And I did hear, don't know if it's true, but I did hear that he apologized to them later. Probably after the game, maybe before, I don't know. But either way, if you're going to do that, it doesn't matter if you apologize. It's already out there. You got to step up your game. And if you're going to call people out, you got to have the game of your life.
That's right. But he did not. And so I think we both agreed, we shouldn't do this all the time. But I think we should only call out if we've been called out.
Yeah.
So
I would agree with that. Just
let's not start
leave the trash talk to the field. Don't give them any more bulletin board material before the game even gets there, especially against a great opponent.
I was hoping Jamar Chase would get in there unsportsmanlike conduct call. That would have been great. Get kicked out of the game.
Yeah. When I saw that first one, and I thought, man, wouldn't that be great if he just kept running his mouth and somehow wasn't able to finish the game because of it. Right. So that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it would.
So, well, I feel better about where we're headed now.
Yeah.
Now that we've had this therapy/podcast session. So hopefully all the rest of you who are listening feel better about it too. So we appreciate you joining us for this episode of the Kingdom Corner. Make sure you subscribe and follow us. Leave us a great comment and review so that other people can find this great podcast and get this information. We hope to see you next time right here in the Kingdom Corner.